Do women have to be naked to get into the Met? Hi friends, I'm Isabel, and today we're going to talk about feminism and where it intersects with art. That quote I just gave you was from a poster done by the Guerrilla Girls, which is a feminist art activism group. It highlighted the fact that 85% of nudes in the Met are of women, but only 5% of the artists are women. And this was in the modern art section, so it wasn't just a case of historical discrepancies. According to art historian Amy Tobin, this hasn't changed much at all since that poster was put up in '86, I believe. And the interview I'm sourcing her from was done in 2019. I'll have it linked below. The problem here is that female beauty is revered, but female artists are not. Our bodies are sexualized constantly in art, media, even on the street. Speaking just in a media perspective, our media suffers from the male gaze. Directors are largely men, so are script writers. And most classic movies have a male lead because that's what people can empathize with. Think of a classic movie, any classic movie, think of the protagonist. Chances are it's likely a male. Now, I'm not saying all are, but there's a lot. Most of them are. This is because people can empathize with male stories. Women have learned to see their stories and their ideas and their lives in men's stories, but it's not a complete portrayal. Meanwhile, men have not learned to see themselves in women's stories. This is why art about women by women is so important. And obviously, I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying it's a problem with our media. Anyway, there are plenty of video essays on the male gaze, and they're much better than I can do. And that's not the focus of this video. This video centers mainly on visual art. Depictions of women in classic art are often nude, sexual, or being brutalized. Powerful women don't show up often in art done by men, and historical painters that we have a record of are overwhelmingly male because men wrote the histories. There are so many stories of women having to adapt their art to fit the male-centric society, either by painting art that was similar to what men were painting, or signing their name with a male pseudonym so that they could actually get their art out there, and also just art being wrongly attributed to men when it was actually done by a woman. Obviously, I don't have time to go through all of those examples, but there are plenty you can find, and I will try to have a couple videos linked below that go more in depth into that whole problem. So what is feminist art? According to the Art Story, feminist art began in the 1960s during second wave feminism. This art directly links to the fight for equality. There was art before the 60s that portrayed women in a positive, strong, empowered light, but it wasn't part of the strictly feminist movement with the goal of being feminist art. In my view, feminist art is made with the goal of advancing equality. It portrays women in a strong and positive light. That part might be a bit controversial since some people like to draw women's suffering to get an emotional response, and then that draws attention to the cause. But to me, feminist art should show the world that we want and celebrate women. That's not a hard and fast rule, but it's my general idea. And feel free to discuss that in the comment section. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. Quick note here, feminist art should always include trans women and non-binary people. I'm drawing a body with boobs, but that doesn't mean all women have boobs or that womanhood is defined by your body or that your body assigns you to womanhood. No TERFs, please. If you're a TERF, you can get out of here. Bye. So why am I drawing nudes? If historically art of women has been nude and sexualized, it's about reclaiming and celebrating bodies. You can have a strong and powerful woman who is nude and not sexualized. And this problem with sexualization persists even in modern art. You go on Instagram and you'll see so many nude paintings of women, but how many of these are actually by women? For me personally, when I see an account that's run by a man that mostly paints nude women, I have to wonder how much is appreciation and feminism and how much is sexualization. And even with women artists, we can sometimes fall into the trap of painting the same body type, the skinny girl, over and over and over. If feminism is equality, then all women need to be seen as equal to each other. By flooding our feeds with one image of womanhood, we reinforce those unconscious biases in ourselves and others. And as feminists, we must actively incorporate all people into our art. And no, I'm not claiming to be perfect at this, but I'm trying. And it's important to start with at least changing your mindset and being intentional about what you are creating. So back to what I'm painting. I have a difficult relationship with my body, as I think a lot of women do. Even with the growing popularity of the body positivity movement, skinny is still the standard. But most women are not skinny. Most women have fat on their stomachs and their thighs and their arms and everywhere. And it's really, really hard not to look in the mirror and see all my fat, my body, as an imperfection. So I wanted to paint a woman with some curves who looks happy and confident and strong. I saw this image on a reference site. I don't remember which one. And I was just thought, she looks so happy and so comfortable with her body. I want to paint her. I interpret the world through art, and I think a lot of people do. I celebrate beauty and I let go of sadness and anger through making art. So by painting a woman with a body type that is not the conventional art body type, I'm celebrating her, and I'm celebrating all people, and I'm celebrating her beauty and her strength. By painting someone, I celebrate them, and that helps me to celebrate myself. So yeah, I'm painting nudes because I want to reclaim my body and the female body, and I want to celebrate it. All right, that's been my little mini rant on feminist art. If you have anything to add to this discussion, please talk to me in the comments section. If you're just going to complain about how feminism is not needed, or how feminists are stupid or whatever, just please don't. I mean, commenting helps boost this video in the algorithm, so I guess you can if you want to, but I'm not going to engage with that. It's been really disheartening to watch videos on feminist art in preparing for this, and just the comment section is awful. So let's try to keep this one as a bit more of a safe space. I know the people who are going to comment that stuff probably did not watch the whole video and probably are not even hearing this. But to the people that support this message, let's just not engage with those people. Just ignore them, and I don't know, if a comment's really awful, I'll take it down. All right, lots of love to all of the women out there, all of my non-binary peeps. Lots of love to everybody except for TERFs and anti-feminists. All right, have a wonderful day. Go paint some nudes, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.